worry too much. Everything is beautiful. There's nothing to worry about.
Hello, Trittas. Welcome to the stream where, wow, that was an interesting, like, 60 minutes to an hour and a half. I'm not even really sure. Where tons of altcoins just dropped 10 to 5% in a very short period of time, and Bitcoin dominance exploded. In fact, Bitcoin dominance just hit its highest level since June of last year. Old Wyckoff accumulation is playing out brilliantly. There it is. Jesus chimes, because it's a new day and highs on Bitcoin dominance. So that will probably continue to rise. I'm not sure how fast. You might pull back, but any pullback would be a last point of supply. This was the last point of supply on the 10th when it pivoted and rallied, making a higher low in phase D. So I guess that's just what's been happening, man. Bitcoin barely moved. Like, if you're looking at the daily chart, which you should be, like, nothing even happened. Oh, that's a red candle? Oh. And yes, your RSI is still extremely elevated, 80, still at 80, my God. So it's still not like, you're still at an area where it's not actionable for long, obviously. The move happened. But you're still elevated. You're not at an entry area. You just can't be surprised if some sort of pullback happened here. You can't be. But understand, like, resistance-wise, there's just not much here till 23,835. So there could be like 3 to 5% more upside before an actual level's tested. We should look at some altcoins too, because, you know, not Ethereum or BNB really, but like looking at Ethereum, you know, it pulled back a lot harder. I mean, what did it end up down? Almost 4% sell-off in like an hour and a half. Has not, I mean, it did make a higher candle close on the 20th. It's just rivaling that same high. So any pullback can't really be that surprised. Hey, great news. You're out of the insane overbought territory. You're still in the bullish control zone at 62.4. Everything's still kind of fine. A back test of 1420 really wouldn't be that bad. I mean, just a formal back test of the old 2018 cycle top as support, that'd be actually freaking awesome. Because that never happened. When you broke it, that level, January 13th, you went straight up to 1675, and now you're pulling back. So, the thing is, like, what I'm thinking is, I'd said this in general chat in the Discord, like, the pullback that we could get that hasn't even really happened yet and may not happen, if it did happen, you're probably looking at higher lows on everything. Like, for instance, like Shiba, just remember some of these, even though it looked really good, like ZRX, they still made their absolute, well, maybe not this one, but something like ZRX made its lowest low in years. So you just think about, oh no, it's not good, man. What if like this happened? You know, like perfect that would be, how insane that would be, a formal spring back test. Like, people would lose their minds because they FOMO'd in because it was stupid to be longing anywhere in here. The time to long was either near the pattern completion zone at it or the breakout back test of the inflection point. You know, if you get a formal back test again, all it would do is you'd put in a higher low locally, and it would be a good setup for a re-entry or an accumulation add to a position. So you can't be that surprised. It has not made a higher high yet. Yeah, waiting on that. Things like Lind that just went berserk still hasn't made a higher high. In fact, has only made an 88% retrace or close to it, high to low. Yeah, made virtually an 88% retrace and is reacting there. Bearish engulfing candle confirmed. And, you know, like, so now what you're doing is off the entry area, not, oh, it's kind of an entry area, I think, based on nothing. It's like, hey, it's in textbooks, literal textbooks, at the 886, the type 2 return with the bullish divergence off the entry. It went up 70% in 2 weeks. Hello. Anytime an asset does that, a pullback happens, it's not a big deal. It's only a big deal to the people that the Larry come latelys. Still up 50% in 3 weeks from where it is right now. That's insane. That's incredible. So what happens if it pulls back and somewhere along the way on the pullback, it ends up making a higher low than the previous lows? Accumulation argument comes in, and then later the breakout. You just got to think about that. At the same time, I could understand if things are really bad and bearish. That could have been it, and it's time to make lower lows. Sure, because you've never put in higher highs. Look, lower highs every single effing time. And the downtrend could continue. And that does happen. Like, patterns will present themselves, they'll look great, they'll have good rallies, but they will underperform. What would be underperformance when you identify a structure so nice? I think failing to see a higher high, or at least even rivaling the previous high. C would be an aggressive target on a harmonic, right? C and A, get the T and A, because money, yeah, make your gains and you get the T and A. Yeah, that's how it works in Western civilization. So that could happen. And it would just be testament to what kind of trend you're in. You go down to all-time lows, whatever. I'm a little bit more optimistic on that right now, but it could happen. Just you're waiting now, right, for a pivot. The sell-off is maybe begun, and you could get follow-through on the bearish engulfing, and wherever it pivots, you're just looking for a higher low. Give me an argument for accumulation. You already made a low in June, and you made higher lows in November, December. So give me another higher low. That's fine. Give me another higher low before going higher. Give me a better entry or a re-entry. This isn't even a dip yet, though, man. Like, you can't even consider what happened today a dip. A dip would be it loses 25% more value on everything. Like, think about FTM. Like, what are you? This thing didn't even pull back. But if it did, you can't be surprised. Off the area that was actionable for a long, it went up 122% in 23 days. It's still up 95% in 23 days. So a pullback here, you just can't be that surprised. I think you're starting to show a little bearish divergence on the 4 through 12 hour time scale. Certainly on the 4 hour, 12 hour. Bearish divergence on the 12 hour, certainly. Bearish engulfing candle confirmed 12 minutes ago. Right? So the variables are adding up on the lesser time scales, implying maybe a little bit more of a significant pullback from just one candle. That happened, look, one wave up, sell off, back test, and another rally that's kind of weaker than the first rally, and then that buyer exhaustion comes in. If you get a pullback, you go to 29 cents. It's all good, man. As long as a higher low than 20 cents comes in, it's gonna be fine in the midterm. So this always happens. Assets pull back after big runs. You can't say like you weren't given the absolute optimum levels to take a shot on these at 50% ago, 100% ago. Do you want BNB? Oh, Microsoft had earnings today and it popped after hours. There was a crazy glitch that created problems. BNB on the daily, hidden bearish divergence is still there. My God, that thing was pumping last night. It hit 323.60 and closed. Wow, that's crypto. Welcome to the world of crypto, Larry. 7.3% loss from that high. FOMOing is dangerous. That's what happens. So that's kind of like a shooting star reversal candle. I don't like that candle. I don't like that candle with hidden bearish divergence. Very real bearish divergence. And resolution soon because you're about to be neutral. Yeah, Bitcoin's starting to stall out. Let me show you again on Bitcoin. Yeah, I pinged patrons on this. So 4 hour bearish divergence. Undeniable. I mean, it's so clear. Even if it keeps going up, I'm just showing you. You're being told, right? This is like the Weather Channel for charts. All I'm doing is presenting the data to you. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just showing you that it exists and it's here. All right, the dew point is literally this. The temperature is literally this. The wind speeds are literally this at this current time. You currently, with the robot voice, have classic bearish divergence on both oscillators. That's just real. That just exists. Then you go to the 8 hour. Bearish divergence on both oscillators. There it is, clear as day. Go to the 12-hour. Same thing. Classic bearish divergence on the oscillators. So that implies that buyers are a little tired on these time scales, and a little bit more of a significant pullback could happen. And it wouldn't be weird. In fact, the TA, if the TA was respected, we'd get some sort of more significant pullback than what's happened right here. I hope not. My God, I hope all this divergence that we're identifying is a joke, because it doesn't exist on the daily. It's not there on the daily plus, which is good. That just means like these pullbacks happen and you probably pivot off of them after making a higher low than the previous lows before it. The time to be getting kind of concerned is when not only are the 4 through 12 hours showing bearish divergence, and all of a sudden the daily and the 3-day and the weekly are showing it too. And you have a discernible like second peak, right, on the daily. You don't have that right now, so that's good. A little bit of P. There it is, man. Okay, so just wanted to get through some of that, the discussion. We could look at some more assets that obviously all of them sold off. I mean, SNX was the worst loser yesterday. I mean, it couldn't break, couldn't make a higher high, made an 886. I mean, you think about it has not made a higher high, nor has it made a higher low yet. So understand, at an 886, this bearish harmonic, that's TA being respected like crazy right there. But what you're looking for in this situation is, give me a bullish 5-0. Go retrace 50%, complete the bullish 5-0 or the 618, pivot right there. Give me some hidden bullish divergence where the negative momentum builds, the island builds larger than it was last time. Give me a bullish edge and give me your first effing higher low that you've seen. Give me that. But for now, all you got is the lowest low of the entire downtrend and the lowest high. Even if it's barely, it's there. So I think that's a great reaction. I mean, a lot of assets are doing that. They're all getting very close to, they're either rivaling their highs from November or they're at them. Some are higher, but most are like, okay, whenever this ends, this sell-off ends, this reaction to the 886 ends, give me a higher low and start pivoting, give me a bullish edge on the oscillators on the daily, and then it very well could be a good reentry accumulation level if this thing's truly turning around for the midterm. We just don't really know yet, man. That's why it's really important to always get in at the lowest risk area as possible. Because, right, what happened, like Q&T sold off too, but a great example. This is just an incredible example, actually, of trading, swing trading, getting in at the best levels. This thing didn't even really sell off, bro. Look at this. It had its highest daily candle close since November 7th, and it's just hit the first target of the trade setup. Trade setup was posted December 26th at the actionable levels. But think about the worst thing that could ever happen. Bitcoin collapses, stock market, it was a trap the whole time. Admiral Akbar got us, dude. We're wrecked. Okay, well, and this thing just does this because it's the worst case scenario. It's not going to happen. I'm just saying, what if though? Well, what a trader does is they get in at the low risk areas, so they're able to take profit at levels of inflection like this, where we don't know if it's going to break, even though it seems very possible based on the structure. I think it probably will eventually, not the day of. But you get in at actionable levels. And so what happened if the worst thing ever happened? Well, guess what? You hit profit taking level 1 of the 3. You may never get, it's not guaranteed at all, you'll get to 2 and 3. But what one does is they had a stop loss here. They someone's going to move their stop loss up to entry or slightly higher just because of fees, to cover the fees. So in case the most terrible thing ever happened, just collapsed, just capitulated, then you get stopped out at or near entry with no losses and you took profit. So you won on this trade. You didn't lose anything, not a dime. You made money. And it only hit one target. Ugh. I'm more optimistic than that, okay? I just am. But it's just you have to think like that. So look, it didn't break out. Q&T closed right at the inflection point, I believe.
Thanks for the knowledge drops, bro. Peace, love, and white papers. Clinking beer mugs.
Is that a joint?
What's up, BT Zona? Thanks, dude, for the 420 contribution. Thank you, dude. Oh, I'm sure there's bearish divergence on the 4 through 12 hour, not the daily. The big one's not showing bearish divergence on the daily. But yes, the lesser timescales to moderate timescales are saying...
Hype the chat for this man who works as our soft to drop knowledge bombs.
It's power hour. Thanks, dude. Give me a clip of the second one with the FX. You know, you have a video audio clip of 4 different ones. Just give me the second one you did on that clip. And it's just that one. So I can put it on my stream deck. I don't have to make any cuts to it. Do that. Put it in respect the TA. Thanks, dude. Seldom though. I'm not really live most of the time for Power Hour, but sometimes I am. So okay, that's where you're at. This is a potential reversal area. You get it? That's why it's a profit taking level, because this is an area where there might be supply. I mean, the asset off the entry only appreciated at its high 52%. So yeah, man, a pullback happens at a area where there is supply, and whatever, it comes down randomly, you know, comes down and just makes a higher low somewhere, and you show hidden bullish divergence after that, and that might be a good area to add on to a position where eventually supply is broken. You go to the next level, right? So we are at those levels now. The froth over the past 3 weeks has occurred. People buying now, they missed it. Unfortunately, loath as I am to say that they missed it. But hopefully you learn from that and you understand, like, I should be watching this stream when no one's watching. I shouldn't be watching the stream when everyone's watching, and we're at these elevated levels and all these altcoins have gone up 50% in 2-3 weeks. Okay, I'm optimistic that wherever the sell-off happens on these altcoins, we'll hopefully get a higher low. It's a re-add where that higher low comes in, accumulation argument continues, and we run to 205, 263, but it might be in March by the time we get there. Late February, whatever. Okay, you got this everywhere. You got it across the boards. Sell off, you know, like think about comp, man. Comp, I mean, what do you expect? It reversed at the reversal area. There was everything. It broke a supply line. It did the things really violently, amazing. And then you run up to the next level, 54.31, which is an all-time low. There's not much here, but it was a swing low from May. It was a swing high from June. It was a swing high from August. It was a swing high from October 29th. That's the inflection point. That's why it's been here. It's been here the whole time. You went straight to that level and you broke through it a few times. Intraday traders never settled up above that level, and that's the way it went. And you just bearishly engulfed. You just broke below the 200-day moving average. So how can you not think the pullback can happen? It could go down to $43. That means it loses a good just 10% of its value. No big deal, and it's fine. It comes down to it loses 28% of its value from here. It's still fine. It's just not fine for you because you FOMO'd in. But for people, again, that were paying attention at these actionable levels, it paid off brilliantly. So now you're just waiting for some sort of back test or higher low to be put in than the previous lows, accumulation argument, and maybe good re-entry levels. And then later, you know, maybe in March, we start seeing higher highs, higher lows, like that. Cardano. Someone was talking about, literally, Brad was talking about, someone was asking about Cardano yesterday. And it's like, Brad, I don't know, he was talking about, well, we look for assets at reasonable levels that are strategic, where we can strategize stop losses, take profits, 3-to-1 reward risk. He like said that. And like the next thing that was said to him, what I think is just the end of the stream yesterday, was, oh, okay, I think I'm just going to buy Cardano now. Literally just ignored everything Brad said. I'm going to buy Cardano Now, when it's at the effing supply line of the downtrend, that represents that it is overbought in a downtrend. You're going long on an asset that just appreciated in value randomly, random area. It went up 65% in 23 days. And you're trying to tell me yesterday you were going long. You're out of your effing mind. You are exit liquidity. You always will be until you change your ways. Holy crap. Hey man, maybe you'll luck out and it'll pivot and rally. Okay, great dude. Keep playing the numbers game. You will always lose. It was like that most actionable area maybe for a short, you know, hidden bearish divergence, right? I mean, just awful. No one ever said Cardano looked good or was ever actionable for a long. Never in this community. This is where, like, if things are really bad, the worst case scenario, this is where the lowest high just got put in, and now maybe either a double bottom at 24 cents or a lower low comes next, right? Hopefully it comes in at a higher low, but you just don't know. There's no evidence that that's coming. This is terrible. The lowest low, and now possibly the lowest high of the entire downtrend that's been going on since August of 2021. I'm just saying, right, when things start getting to these profit-taking levels like QNT and stuff, that's where some pullbacks happen. That's where the FOMOers get destroyed. KSM never made it 43, but I mean, what do you want from it? It would, like, off its confirmation, like, you really want us to pull up the stream from January 4th and watch my live stream where I analyzed this thing at these levels and talked about it? Thing went up 62% in 18 days from there. Yeah, it's putting in a lower high in the previous highs, and anywhere though, it could go to $30, $26, it could go to $25. As long as it makes a higher low than the previous lows, accumulation argument comes in, possible reentry, and then higher high after. But you're just gonna have to deal with this. You're gonna deal with a bearish engulfing candle across this market just got put in, and they're gonna be follow through. That means more selling pressure could come in. Just look for the higher low. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, dude, if you look at the weekly on some of these, it doesn't even matter. You shouldn't even care. Tinker, yeah, you're an NPC. We know. Your avatar is very telling. It's very appropriate.
Tell on Nasdaq, please, with possible harmonic pattern.
Mike Silver, thanks for the 20. Yeah, we'll look at it. Appreciate it. It's going to continue, man. Look at Link. I mean, chain Link, what did it do? Failing to break that 200-day moving average. It's only put in its lowest high of the downtrend. It's selling off, but all you're looking for is a potential, if you're lucky, somehow, some way, you just make a higher low than the previous low. If not, you're going to make your lowest low. See, that's why I said most of these are garbage, because none of them have done what's the handful of the ones we like are doing. Ones like Tezos, ones like FIL coin. Oh God, get it out of here. It's trash. Look, dude, just put in, it failed to break the 200-day moving average. It just made its all-time low December 17th. What a straight line up rally. There was no structural development, nothing, just garbage, lower high. So ones like this, you can't be surprised at all if the next move is the lowest low, then a lower high, then a lower low. And the bear trend continues on crap like this. These are ones we would never touch no matter what they were going to do, because there was never an argument for a long, ever. They still don't have an argument. When Litecoin took it on the chin. But look, man, I've got this old channel I had up. And I mean, look, you're at it, man. You have failed since the 14th to break this supply line. And remember, in an uptrend, the top trend line is considered overbought. And you're a little exhausted. I mean, the high and then the higher high and lower levels. You go to the 12-hour, it's probably cemented in stone. Yeah, even locally. Oof. Look at the high, then the slightly higher high, and then just the absurd classic bearish divergence on both oscillators. I mean, these are just not, when you see assets that look like this, like these are just the absolute worst areas to long ever. In fact, these might be the best areas to short right here. It's also Jason, what's going on, man?
Happy to hear about your move to Miami. Have enjoyed watching your hard work pay off for years. Ty for always being here.
Aussie Jason, man, thanks so much for the 50 and the very kind words and the Bon Voyage or whatever it's called. Thanks, dude. Yeah, got boxing things up today. You know, it's getting real. I'm not. I mean, I got help, but it's a very real feeling. You know, you're looking at heirlooms and things that are getting put in boxes that you've had for a long time. You're like going somewhere else, and it's a big step for me because I've never lived out of here, out of this state. So thanks, man. Appreciate it. But you kind of get the argument on Litecoin could be to understand how and why, if a more significant pullback occurred, it wouldn't be weird because there's a compelling argument for a pullback. What if you just do that? Come on, make a higher low. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, the only people that are getting hurt are the people that have come around here lately. If you were here 3 weeks ago and you took action on these assets that were at basement levels with the entire argument set up, you're good. You're golden. You're probably playing the weekly. You're not worried about it. In fact, on some of them, you take profit, right? But yeah, let's go to XRP real quick. Yeah, it sold off too. It could not break out. It was a failed bullish breakout of the 42-cent level. Failed. But again, in 12-hour, very real bearish divergence. You can't argue. It's there. So a more significant pullback just to make a higher low than previous lows will be fine. It's not really a big deal. If you go to the weekly, I can't even tell anything happened. What? Oh, yeah? You see a little red. You see some wicks down this week. Okay. You're not really concerned. What's up, Jay? Thanks, dude. Thanks. You're playing the weekly. You got nothing to worry about. There's like CDE. What are you worried about, man? That thing was, before it took off by 15% in 2 days or whatever, it was swinging 5% up and down a day. And you're just like in the position like, oh, I'm not concerned. I'm looking at the weekly. You got to be like that on XRP too. I mean, the cutoff is below 32.5 cents. Your argument becomes very valid to not own the asset below 32.5 cents because 25 cents looms. It's the next support. But if this sustains and holds, which it has twice, that's the whole point, then you're fine. And you could be stalling out for a while. But again, you just got to have conviction of the argument on the weekly, which is really strong. Okay. Oh, you did it, HA Production? Thank you, dude. Let me save that real quick. There it is.
It's time for Power Hour.
Perfect. Oh, what? I think it, hear that at the end? I think you, yeah, you hear that at the end? Might want to cut it. Yeah. Give me another one. Okay, so I mean, I spend too much time on crypto, I guess. Let's look at total real quick.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei!
Still above 963. What is 963? It's the high from June. Right? What'd you do? 886, 95% retrace. I mean, yeah, 886s, man. Reactions happen. Bearish and golden candle confirmed. It's fine though. There is no bearish divergence at all. That's what I like. It's like Bitcoin. There is none. So even if you broke that 963, wherever you pull back, however bad the pullback is, as long as a higher low than these two lows from November, December gets put in there, the accumulation argument is building. So it would devastate all the Moon Boy scrubs, Larry come latelys. But something like that comes in, all of a sudden, what? You got Momo shift and back test of a September 20th low, and then hidden bullish divergence maybe comes in. Okay, then later. But for now, these are just the worst areas to be taking fresh longs. In fact, you are being told by the market itself that between the 4 and the 12-hour time scales that there is a pullback coming. And it may be big, but it may not be much at all. But I'm just saying it is implying a short-term reversal, 4 through 12 hour.
Can you take a look at $XDP? And also the same thing on the stock exchange, TAP.
Thank you for the 5 pounds, Green Beats Kitchen. But we just got a rule for quality of life. You can string it if you want to. Appreciate the contribution. Oh, the Doge that also took it on the chin. You know, not really. It's pretty. We knew 9.1 cents was a key level. Still above the 200-day moving average on the weekly. 200-week moving average, excuse me. Go to the 1 day. Really not a big deal, but definitely I would imagine on 4-hour, 12-hour, there is bearish divergence like crazy. So what you want to see is wherever the pullback takes us, however far it goes, just give me a higher low than the previous low and everything will be fine. Give people an opportunity to add more and all that, right? If it's mild. I mean, right, it's barely even moved, but I'm just, again, go to the 12-hour, 8-hour. It's everywhere. It's across the entire crypto market. You're finally showing a little bit of buyer exhaustion right there. The high, the same high, lower levels on the oscillators. Applying reversal. So it may not be much. We're still very optimistic for the midterm. Short term just might be a little bumpy. There might be a little bit more of a pullback in the short term. Look at that. I mean, very clear, concise, bearish divergence. One high that buyers try. They tried again. They failed. Lower levels in the oscillators. I guess we can go to stocks now just to knock it out. Okay. Spend enough time here. The S&P 500, SPX, man. It was a decent day. It was flat, still broken out, right? The mother of all supply lines, mother of all trend lines is breached. The 200-day moving average, the price is above that. Those are good things. Still have not broken in above 60, have you? You really want to see that? Not yet. So cautiously optimistic above the supply line. I really want to see the S&P, the buyers recapture 4,058 because I think if you break that, then all of a sudden you could very well be making higher highs than your previous highs locally, and you'd be running up to the 4,200, 4,300 level, and then you'd be getting close to rivaling that high from August, and then breaking that. Then it's all of a sudden you're getting into trend reversal talks, complete trend reversals, because then you'd be taking out multiple highs and then hopefully higher lows. You've already put in one higher low. That's a start. It's not good enough yet. We need multiple consecutive higher highs, higher lows. Don't have any higher highs yet. So there is no argument for a trend reversal yet. But once you start recapturing previous highs, that's when the argument starts being built. But even while its construction is occurring, still could fail. You make a higher high, then roll over, make a lower low. All of a sudden, back to the drawing board, man. Okay. We are not in an uptrend on the stock market yet. Dow Jones might be the closest to it, but yeah, I mean, up 0.31%. Remember, you failed twice, but if you're so strong that you recapture and hold the key inflection zone, all you got to do now is make higher highs. Then once you start breaking 34.6, you start getting an argument for a trend reversal. Like, this is the closest to it, maybe. The NASDAQ composite broke the supply line, right? You need to take out the previous highs, 11,500. Okay. Then you need to break 12K. Breaking 12K, serious stuff. I mean, you're talking deep retraces, talking about breaking that level. I mean, this is a dragon in itself. This is a dragon breakout. Occurred 2 days ago. You're talking like targets of 12,536, 12,844. And even if you get to these levels, you are still not in a confirmed uptrend yet. You're just not. You're not in an uptrend, I think, until you do something like that. You pull back, buyers defend the old level as support, and then you run again and take those levels out. And that's when you can start talking about a trend reversing, when you do those things. But until then, it's just a potential dragon trade, and then someone's taking profit or exiting at the 618, 786s, because the trend, again, is still down. Just because you confirm a bottom in a downtrend does not mean that the trend has reversed. Not at all. It's not about the same lows or the same highs. It is about consecutive inverse of what's been going on with the trend, the lower highs, lower lows. IWM, that was looking very interesting, right? You're so close to, you're on breakout watch. Okay, there's hidden bullish divergence here, kind of. It's still there. I'm saying above 188. It's just the high from January of last year. I think that is a massive breakout that you could go to 209, 213. And I really like it. Put in two lows. So confirmation of a bottom being put in, a lower high in the previous high. But then the higher low and the formal spring back test of key levels from 2018 and 2020. That's massive. I think that's beautiful. And so now the next level of adversity, 188, and above that, then you start taking out your previous highs. You put in another higher low, then we got a trend reversal on our hands. So you're starting to do the things you need to, just not everything's done for a trend reversal argument, okay? Anyway, those are your index funds. Gold was pumping last night. It did, it sustained highest daily candle close on gold since April 21st of last year. Still above 1921, which is the key level all the way back from 2011. The Black Gate of Mordor. 1963, the Legion of Works. And then 2075 is Mount Doom itself. So this is just one of those where, hey man, a long extended wave up. Anytime a pullback happens, you can't be surprised. Waves start, they end, and then a short-term pullback occurs, and then you rally later. The rising three methods. Oh, it's so beautiful. Japanese candlestick pattern still valid. I mean, it's virtually playing out. Someone would ask, like, what's a measure? You would measure from the low to the high from the breakout, and a measured move, and it doesn't mean it's going to happen at all, but a measured move of this pattern would take you to 1970. It's small, very small. So, yeah, you just think, well, something like this, you're looking at it, I don't care. I mean, I get it that pattern's there and it's so brilliant and beautiful, but you can't, like, it is not prudent to be longing up here, like fresh longs. That's kind of crazy, dude. You're just asking to be destroyed on a short-term pullback. Like these altcoins, they would just be short-term pullbacks, but someone longing at the top, they could lose 30% on their position before it pivots and rallies again. God, because it went up 50% in 2 to 3 weeks. Let's look at the futures real quick. SPX 500 USD, selling off some. Still broken out, but again, you are in, I would almost call it a purgatory. I mean, you're still in a bear trend, but like the higher low got put in. So that is an uncharacteristic event in a downtrend. Almost all lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. But my God, man, you made a higher low and you broke a supply line you'd been confined in for over a year. So purgatory, but still bearish trend. I broke the 200-day moving average. Well, come on, some promising things have occurred, but it's not enough. It's just, if it was ever to reverse, these things have to happen. So you gotta look at it like that. I mean, a higher low and then breaking supply lines, breaking above 200 moving averages would have to happen in order for a true trend reversal to occur, but you haven't made higher highs yet. So it's still in the downtrend. So that's what I'm saying, estuary transition period, but it's not, it's still a bearish trend, technically. Okay. Let's just look at Microsoft because that was the big one on earnings today, earnings season. Okay, this is what happens. after hours. Okay, it was up 4.4% when I had the thumbnail made. It is now down 0.69% after hours. There are no more gains. It was at like $250. No longer. Is this in an uptrend, chat? Sweet mother of God, it's not. It is still in a very bearish trend. We already looked at FTM, dude. Past the tardy sauce. Chat, are you there? I'm just making sure. It's like one message per hour from y'all. Just making sure the stream didn't end.
It's time for Power Hour.
Yeah, there we go. That's a good one. Let's try it on my stream deck now.
It's time for Power Hour.
Did y'all hear that? Is that good? Make sure. We got it now. It's all set up, man. So what was is not anymore. The post-market giveth and it taketh awayeth. Connect if. Okay. What would be, you know, I would really be disappointed in ways if this all was a fake out and wasn't real, because there, over the course of 200 plus days, just like in crypto, many stocks, individual stocks, have put in and presented their own reversal patterns all over the place, man. Different markets. I mean, again, I was here yesterday, something like Pin Gaming that was up 0.77% today. You look at this pattern, this could be in an effing textbook. It doesn't get prettier than this. Like a horizontal neckline, a perfect left shoulder, head, right shoulder, all happening at some sort of level. I mean, that right there, you know, and then you know what happens, right? It plays out and is still in a bear trend. It goes up and tests $51, makes a lower high, or gets up to $48, makes a lower high than this high, full on 886, and then reverses and continues down. And then like 8 months from now, we're at $17, or a year from now, we're at $17.70, right? It's like you can be in a bear trend. These patterns develop, they play out, they perform adequately or underperform marginally, and then it's over later. And of course, it doesn't reverse the trend. It's just a pattern that could be traded in the midterm. And then someone takes profit, they exit. And then by the time they're exiting, the FOMO Moonboy Scrubs retail comes in. They're like, oh, I'm buying Pin now at $50 because Wall Street Bets and Kramer said it was a good idea. And then it's over. Then dump it at $17 in a year from now. It's, 8 months. What's up, Space Ape? Thanks, dude.
Hey Mitch, can you look at AVAX?
We'll look at Avalanche, man. We can look at it. Okay, I'm just showing you there are things out there that developed over such a long period of time. Look at HubSpot. I mean, just stuff that is this is like Adam and Eve, right? The V and the U, and it broke a key level of inflection. There's just not much there looking left for higher price. Broke the 200-day moving average. Probably golden crossing soon. Not quite, because it was so devastated. But there's just stuff out there that looks like this, and it's just intriguing. HLT, just like, oh my God, man. Just beautiful consolidation structures that are potential reversals, bullish reversals. Even PayPal looked good. It's solid. Or it was okay. It's not as good as Square as the real one, the real king. This one's meh. OLN back tested a spring. Look at this. This high from 2021 was formally tested as support, and look at it. I mean, this should have good consequences, much higher prices. 886, 65+ $200+.
Welcome to the Sunshine State, my future fellow Miami-mian. Can you take a look at DKNG? THX Bud.
That's another one that's just ungodly of a structural development over the course of 200+ days. It's unbelievable. It's so powerful at key levels. Mr. Ruggiero, Brian, he found that one. I looked at it and almost spit my food out. Was eating when I'm like, oh my God, I almost choked on my food because it was such a good looking potential reversal. Congregation of variables, not just, oh my God, dude, there's an inverse head and shoulders, or there's a double top, or there's just bearish divergence. No, it's like all these things combined that makes it powerful. We can look at it. So you'd think on something like this, right? I mean, that right there would have a consequence or take it to a gap filled of at least $64. There are other ones you wouldn't even believe. Like CMG, man, you don't even need to worry about the daily. You go to the freaking weekly, and it's just stupid, man. Look at this freaking weekly. I mean, how you stare at that, and it's just like, you look at what you're doing. You're breaking. The buyers are taking the price above the February and April 2021 peaks, the old all-time highs. That's the inflection point. You're breaking that, and it started with a nice little hammer / dragonfly doji. Very close. Positive memo just building again. This is very significant. It took so long to develop. That's why it's powerful. Well above the 200-week moving average. Come on, man. Up long, established uptrend. This is the best context to identify inverse head and shoulders, okay? Where it pulled back and it gave it the worst, man. The whole year was just a bear trend. It was terrible. And then a bullish dragon pattern happened and it broke out and it's sold off and making higher lows. Momentum's now shifting back to the buyers because the trend is long established as the buyers are in control, right? The buyers are, what this right shoulder represents on Chipotle, I believe, is the buyers are regaining control of this asset. They weren't in control. Oh man, it's kind of hard. I mean, they're making the lows, same lows from May 2021, then a lower high the previous side, then a lower low. Oh man, but then a rally and now a higher low. And that is again, key characteristic of buyers recapturing the momentum they've always had for the most part. It's just stuff like that all across this market. These things are happening. But it doesn't mean it's going to play out, going to fail. Okay, that's what stop losses are for. Unless, you talk about you got stopped out the day because of that freaking scam. Jeez, sorry, I got like this duplication thing going on with these. I don't know, it happens sometimes. I just love how the right shoulder is like, you can't see it on the weekly really, but on the daily it's a low and then the confirmation low. You love that, and that's incredible. All right. I guess we should go to these requests and stuff, maybe. Whatever, I guess we'll knock it out. So rush.
Uroy smile.
Okay, we'll look at Uroy. Yep. All right, first, well, we looked at gold. All right, so is anyone concerned about commodities? I'll tell you real quick. U.S. oil didn't do anything today or yesterday. It's still broken out, still above inflection points, still okay. So we'll consider it a lower risk area for long on WTI for sure. Lumber futures doing the Jesus stuff. This is incredible. Okay. Lumber futures. All right. Come on. Pure on traditional technical analysis. Falling wedge identified. Broke out of the falling wedge the date of the 11th. You're now at a key inflection point. Breaking this, serious consequence where you go to 623 to 650. It's good old fashioned TA, man. Target 555, 601, 650. If you're going to have a third target. That's it. It's beautiful. My lumber futures, buddy, they are long. They've been long, and they're getting paid today. I'll tell you that. 5.5% gains. Most notable asset up. Corn and wheat were up 2. Sugar up some. Gasoline futures up 1.48%. Remember, this is all off an 886, you know. Beautiful. Okay. Requests. So we have... Thanks for the nearly 800 people tuned in. If you're enjoying the live stream, hit that like button, the bell, the sub. These are good days because there's no pump. People are concerned, and I'm trying to emphasize education to you every day, whether you like it or not. All right, tell on the NASDAQ. First request. Tellurian. Energy minerals. Okay. Probably want to go to the weekly on those. Tellurian. Sounds like something from the Silmarillion, like an elf's name or something, right? You're at the basement. I mean, right? You're looking at an asset that, sure, it's at 115. How long is it going to stay there? I don't know. So it's pretty simple here, isn't it? I mean, you don't want to own the asset probably below $1.15. And then the upside could be ridiculous. But lately, all you've been doing is making lower highs on your peaks. Lower highs, same lows. Yeah, I don't know, man. I got 11 million volume, so yeah, 111 would probably be your lowest risk entry. I'm just concerned about like the fact that like it hits this level once, huge run, then sells off, hits it again. That should be the confirmation low, right? And rallies and just pathetic. Another just can't even break the 200-week moving average. It just Momo shifts, and now look at it. It's just like a wet fart, man. Bad performance. But hey, man, maybe it's making a local confirmation low. So pretty easy to strategize your entry, your stop loss, and your take profits, I guess, right? I mean, you don't want to own the asset probably below 111 and take profits. I mean, 3 to 1, probably 1587, this low from 1973. I think there's just better assets out there. All these, you know, you ask me like about this, I'd probably rather have my money in something like Marriott or Hilton or Suncor Energy. Look at Suncor. Like, hold on. I would just probably rather have money in a structure like this, like where it's a long-term uptrend, you know, probably going for an 886 to fill a gap at like $41, $42 eventually, and trying to break above the 200-day moving average. Something that I can recognize. That it's got a lot of data that is higher highs, higher lows, not, oh, it's the lowest low ever. Again, it's the same effing price it was at in 1973. Or it's like that, or, you know, would I rather own that, or would I rather own something like Live Nation? You know, like I can recognize the structure. It broke out and it's confirmed and back tested the breakout. It closed above the key level from 2020. I mean, that's recapturing a major inflection point. Look, 2021, you have evidence that it's a real breakout on both fronts, not just the horizontal line resistance, but the local structure, the wedge that had been in development for a year. You understand how big of a deal this is? This is not a joke, man, on Live Nation. All day I'll own this over Tell. All the divergence, right? Dude, are you kidding me? This is gold right here. Golden. Well, Colin, here you go, dudes. Time to contribute more to the 401k or stock options, at least for a little bit. Target on this. Are you kidding me? Probably like $93. That's the next major level. Look. $93 from where it is right now. That means, oh, it just goes up 20%. I know it's not. You get really spoiled with crypto because crypto, it's insane. I mean, like 50% up in 3 weeks. I mean, but remember, you're looking at a traditional market. 20% up in 3 weeks to a month or two. That's insanely good. You're used to crypto. Don't get used to crypto. This is a traditional market. That's where all these patterns were researched. We're applying traditional technical analysis from traditional markets on an untraditional market. And it happens to be reliable. Look at QNT and others too. Look on it. So look at that. Bitcoin just sideways. Not a big deal. Showing 4-hour to 12-hour bearish divergence. That exists. We're not going to ignore it just because the run was going. It's there. If that is respected, then a very moderate marginal retrace could happen. It hasn't really happened yet at all on Bitcoin. It's legit not happened. Like the bearish divergence that exists between the 4 and 12 hour has not played out on Bitcoin at all yet. The daily, you can't even tell, oh, it closed down yesterday? Did it really? You didn't. It's just the same effing price it was at on the 20th, 4 days ago. And we don't even need to look at the 4 hour. We always got it up there. And let me show you the higher high with lower levels on the oscillators, implying a short-term reversal. Short-term, not, oh, it's all over. You're looking for the, oh, it's all over normally on the daily, 3-day, weekly. That's when you're like, the way more significant reversal could be coming. But you don't, the good news is you don't have that right now on the daily for Bitcoin. So that's good. So the pullback you think would be marginal. You get to re-enter on some of these altcoins that have been flying for 3 weeks straight. That'd be awesome. Let's go to the next request that met the requirements, right? $15 would be AVAX for SpaceApe. AVAX that was just unable to capture prices above the 200-day simple moving average. You see how well it's respected. Bots love the 200-day moving average. Bearish engulfing candle confirmed right back below it. The good news is the daily is not implying any sort of buyer exhaustion, but you do need to be mindful that it has just made an 88% retrace from its previous high to low, or an 86, 87% retrace. And that's definitely areas where short-term pullbacks occur. Look, you go to the 12-hour, there's bearish divergence. Right? Yeah, like from this high to this slightly higher high with the bearish engulfing candle, yeah, implying a short-term reversal. Short-term's the word, not long-term. Oh, it's all over. We're going to zero. We're going to make lower lows. It just means you could see a 51 to 78% retrace. You give me a higher low eventually, though. Show me some hidden bullish divergence. Oh, come on, man. Accumulation's really starting to set in. Remember, this has shown no evidence of accumulation. None. Zero. Do you get that? The most recent discernible event on this chart was the lowest low of its entire downtrend. And now, if this was a top, it is now formally your lowest high of the entire downtrend. So there is no evidence of a trend reversal happening right now on AVAX yet. Give me a higher low. That's a start. You haven't done it effing once. So give me a higher low on the bearish divergence and then we can talk. That's step one. Yeah, always learning. Yep. I mean, probably bad. I mean, we got an earnings depression coming. I figured though, like my whole theory on this earnings season is like expectations have to be in the gutter. Right? Everyone knows how bad things are going, how bad it's going to be, how bad it is right now. So you think like no one's expecting almost anything from these companies. So any sort of like, yeah, it was terrible, but it was not as terrible as everyone thought. It's just slightly better. That would generate a rally in price because that's how these effing markets work, dude. So just like Bitcoin, AVAX, after a beautiful falling wedge breakout, is a little tired on insignificant time scales, not the daily. So that could usher in a short-term sell-off that could take you down to 1382 to test these levels. And if it's nice, you get a pivot there and we show our first effing higher low in over a year. Okay, that Space Ape, hopefully that helps. Thanks for the contribution. Let's go to DraftKings, a brilliant looking setup. Even if it fails, you can't say it's not ungodly. Look at that, dude, and it's playing out pretty well. Breaking above the 200-day simple moving average. You've been failing to do that since the whole downtrend, man. You're breaking it yesterday and today. Target's 1878 from here, if it's real. Look, that's it. Straight up and down and up and down and up and down. So guess what? You confirm a bottom, the target's up again. 1878 above that. I would say probably 24 bucks, then 27.65 after that. This is an ungodly setup. It's been this way. You're just actually catching follow through off of it. It's gorgeous. I mean, this is a work of art. This should be an NFT if it plays out all the way. You get to A, which is 2150. That's an NFT right there. I wish there was more to talk about. I've already charted this. It's already been analyzed. We're all over it. It's beautiful. This is a dream. A dream state set up. All right, last one. That last request is Uroy. Okay. Uranium Royalty Corporation. A higher low's been put in. Oh. Yeah, context is kind of whack though, dude. It's really tough here. It really is, man. This kind of reminds me of Tron a little bit, you know? Like the boom happened. Now the lower high is coming in. Or the lower low, the lower high, the lower lows, the lower high. It's the same low, the lower high. Now kind of a higher low. So the trend is still down. You're still downtrending. But yes, why he requested this is because of the formal spring back test that is occurring. Buyers are defending the F out of this level. I mean, all the kings gold, all the king's men, whatever it is, they're doing everything. Man, that is a really nice, like you got an M shape here. It's a higher low. You haven't been making higher lows till right around Christmas. And then a rally back above the zone, and then another higher low, and a big engulfing candle, sign of strength right here. I mean, it's beautiful. But until you take out the previous highs, it's really suspect, right? I mean, you're like talking like descending triangle behavior right now. We just kind of got it like this. This is what's happening, right? Break that supply line. You break the supply line. I mean, probably got a good target of, 377 up there. But you just got all these peaks, man. It could reverse at 324, 308, all over the place, man. So it's a tough one because the trend has shifted. It's like natural gas, kind of like you went on this crazy run, but the run is done, and it's signified by a huge sell-off and then an attempted rally that was rather pathetic. 61% retrace from your high to low. Just eyeballing it, right? Look. High to low is a 618, 65% retrace, and then sells off and makes a lower low. The trend is not your friend now, and it could be a redistribution pattern. I know I love the price action correlation to the key zone from 2021, right? But give me a higher high. Break the 200-day moving average. You're below it right now. It's just like it's kind of in that area. It's like the stock market, like the index funds, where yeah, they put in higher lows, but the trend is still down. It's still a downtrend. No evidence yet of a trend reversal. None. There's not enough. Okay, so that's what I got for you, Roy. Okay, been live an hour and 10 minutes. Rather dead stream today. That happens with price action doing what it did. I'd imagine seeing the red I'm seeing right now on the watch list, Bitcoin dominance will be continuing to rally on the new day. It certainly is. Certainly is. And this can continue. There is nothing here. There has never been a time on Bitcoin dominance when it's at 44.76 and it's on the way up where it has pivoted and sold off and gone to the lowest lows. Anytime it's ever been at this level and it's on its way up, it always goes to 48+%. Always. So if you're talking about history, History is on your side for a continuation upward. Which means probably not good for altcoins in the short term. This thing's in phase D, dude. This is the last phase before phase E is where it breaks 48% and goes to 60%. This was our theory going all the way back to like September. It's playing out like the Jesus right now. This is Richard Wyckoff stuff, man. It's perfect.
Being able to get around on the instrument happens in your brain, and it has to do with
yeah, you got some that are, I mean, YFI, dude, again, YFI is on breakout watch. It was breaking out. It's there, but dude, it may look, it's like the others where it put in a lower low than previous low. If any pullback happens, it's just probably going to end up being another buying opportunity. It would wreck the FOMO or scrubs. They sell high and then a dump and then a higher low and then gone later. I mean, I don't know when it's going to actually take off, but it's either soon or we get that drawdown, pull back, the higher low gets put in, hidden bullish effort as we pivot and then we run later. So again, this one, I mean, if you need me to show you the screenshot, this was identified on the 31st at the 886 perfectly. Because we know that level. What is that level, man? You know it. I could find it. Try to find it. I mean, I had it identified before it even hit the 886. Wow. It's crazy. It was like the 87. Okay, yeah. Right here, dude, this is like how all over it we were. Look at this, dude. Can't even make this up. Okay. There it is. That is the 886 to the effing T, right? That is the 886 to the effing T. One day you will get it. You don't get it now. Those were the lowest risk entry areas ever. So any pullback here, only scrub Larry come latelys are the ones that are scared or whatever. Okay. So thanks for coming out. You know the deal. I've tried my absolute best to articulate where we are in crypto, stock market, whatever. And if it's not enough, I'm sorry. All I can do is my best. And Nico, my man Nico, we hung out in Miami. Thanks so much, dude, for joining the Citadel and the Discord, the premium membership. Really appreciate that here. Your Jesus chimes. You might be moving to Miami, which would be cool too. We'll hang out again, man. Thanks. And be sure if you want to support this channel, you can join any time of the week or any time of the month. It's not like Patreon. You get the identical amenities of the Patreon, and you're cutting out the middleman of Patreon when you join the subscription service in the Discord. It's very, very easy to join. Very easy. All you do, hey, you're in the Discord, and you scroll up to server subscriptions. This right here, you get all the education, the premium Discord chat, my charts only, trade setups with entries, take profits, and stop losses. And this is just you're supporting the channel. You get the same, if you tip $15 on stream, you get a request. You can join the Discord subscription for $15 and you get the same request. You just PM me what you want me to look at on the next stream. And if you join the supporter, the white R, tier 2, you get 2 requests. That normally would be $30 on stream. It's only $25 here. So a little value in that. You get emojis too, whatever, custom emojis. And you get the flare and all that. It's better than a $15 tip on stream. And you're supporting the other members of the team when you do that, because the tips are all mine. So yeah. Either way, the Discord is free. Join it so you get notified when I go live, because YouTube will inevitably fail you. You haven't had anyone join the Discord today. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Unless you're all in the Discord. Y'all are crazy, dude. Okay, so I think I've done well enough to tell you maybe what's happening, what's going on. 4 to 12 hours, bearish divergence. So any sort of slight to mild pullback. I wouldn't say you expect anything ever, but if you're identifying 4 to 12 hour bearish divergence on an asset that has gone up to obscene levels in a short period of time, you cannot be, if you are surprised that a pullback comes next, you're out of your effing mind and you don't give two craps about traditional technical analysis. You just don't care. Thanks, William, Tom, Katsu, Caffeine. Chicken, you don't have to wait anymore for the first. You do not have to wait anymore. Don't join the Patreon unless it's the first. But right now, you could join on the 24th, and your membership lasts until the next 24th. So you don't have to wait anymore. That's the beauty of it. That's the whole point of me going in and showing you how you can sign up for that. It's brilliant. It's actually a big breakthrough for us, because that is a huge, obnoxious thing with Patreon. Having to wait to the first of the month. So, anyway. Thanks for the likes, love, support, contributions, everything in between. And I'll just be back. Until next time, respect the T. Hey.